All right, we are back with our final match here in our top eight coverage. It is the finals. Winner takes the league. We have Sawyer against Adam. I will mention before we get into the game, both of them are from the Obscura team, which I was a part of. So I won't say I played any part in their success, but I will.
Congratulations to Obscura.
I will share in the festivities here. They both drafted blue black decks, so we're going to see a Demir face off here. We saw Sawyer's deck in the last round, very powerful top end, and Adam has a blue black deck. Maybe is a bit more assertive, like maybe can curve out a bit better, but can also go late game. So
Well, I don't know who to root for here.
what's happening over
Adam
in the
was my
Sawyer
partner
side?
in our double feature league here, and if he wins the whole league, it means I was the problem team. So I don't know. But congratulations to Obscura for winning the league already.
I think what we're rooting
They
for
kind of
is
already won.
no mana problems, no mulligans, because the last two rounds that we saw, unfortunately, had a bit of that going on. What's going on now over in Sawyer's hand there? We see
Yeah,
Adam's hand.
we have three lands: Repository Scob, which can get back an instant or sorcery. Not yet though, but we have
Yeah,
Attempted by the Auric, something you might want to recur. I think it's a sorcery, right? That's coming
yep,
out right now.
yeah. We saw that grab a Morbid Opportunist last round.
And we have a Join the Maestros with two lands in hand. So
Okay, so Sawyer's got stuff to do. So the repository scab, it's the 3/3 for 4. If you exploit, you get a spell back, right?
yeah, and Tempted by the Orc seems like a pretty good target for that in general. The Join the
Yeah,
Maestros, of course,
absolutely.
we want to see a Decayed Skeleton, Decayed Zombie become a Maestro at some point. The only
Yeah,
team not represented in the top eight.
yeah. So Adam's hand, as we can see, has 3 lands and 2 removals. He has a flunk, and he has a Tamio's completion. So we'll see. And he's drawn another land here. So he needs to get some board presence here because he's in danger of falling very far behind. So
So
he
what are we
has the
likely to see
Arrogant
this turn?
Outlaw. I mean, he's trying to decide whether either of these creatures are worth using a removal on. The Desperate Farmer might be, so he might deploy one of his removals to attack with the Outlaw. But Adam needs to draw some board presence here. Like I said, in danger of falling behind here.
Wizard class is the draw, so you can play that along with Repository Scob this turn, or join the Maestros, getting 2/4/3s and putting a shield counter on
Yeah,
something. That seems like a play too.
yeah. So he stole the Broker's Veteran just to sack it, but he can get back his Tempted by the Auric, or has joined the Maestros if he feels that's going to be more effective. Either way, Sawyer
Two four threes on the board.
seems to have the upper hand here. Again, Adam can answer things, but you know Sawyer's already got the front foot out here with Attempted by the Auric and some good resources left in hand. So
I
he's figuring
think
out
he
what to do.
wants to join the Maestros, but is worried about some sort of counter spell because it's a strong play to sacrifice your 2/1 and make your 4/3 lifelinker have a counter on it.
Yep, that would be a pretty big swing. Though the Tamio's completion will deal with that. We'll deal with the 4/3 lifelinker with the shield counter. Yeah, so if Sawyer wins this, not obviously he'll win the league for the first time, but he actually won the mega draft last time around. Last standard set league we had, which was Neon Dynasty. He actually,
Got
I
that
believe,
tag.
I can't remember if it was no, it might have been Chaos. It was one of the top eights he made that he actually won the mega draft.
I can actually take a look real quick
So
here because they post.
based on the points, he didn't end up winning the league. He didn't have enough points to win the league, but he actually did win the mega draft. I remember he had a black red sacrifice deck. He just picked up all the active treason variants that were wheeling in every pack. Can't recall. I
I'm
think it
looking
was
through
Neon
the.
Dynasty. So, but Sawyer's proved himself to be very capable. He's not been in the league too long, and he's already made 3 top 8s. So he's proven himself to be a very dangerous
It was
player.
Neon Dynasty. Yeah,
Yeah,
it was Neon Dynasty.
exactly. Yeah, so Cody Erase was just running away with the points, so he had enough points to go to win the league, despite not winning the draft, going 2-1. But yeah, so Sawyer has actually been in the mega draft and won it before. So Sawyer's doing all the good stuff here, but the Desperate Farmer is going to die, so it won't get the triggers here that Sawyer was looking for. But he does have a follow up here, the Wizard class. He will have to put some more mana into it.
Regardless, here we're getting a new winner, first time winner.
Yeah.
I think Cody's the only former
Yeah,
winner
so
at the
so the
top.
Tempted by the Orc, it cares about mana value or power.
I will check that. I think it's power.
Okay.
Oh no, sorry, it's mana value. Remember,
Yeah.
he stole the
Yeah.
opportunist.
Yeah, I took the Opportunist. Yeah, I just couldn't remember if it was power or mana value 3 or less. Yeah, so Adam has a Blood Crazed Socialite he can cast, which is, well, we'll see. It's the 4 mana 3/3 menace that makes a blood. So that is untemptable. But yeah, this Tempted by the Orc just sitting there is just so daunting for Adam. He's just like, when he draws something good that costs 3 or less, like, is he just going to take it?
Here.
That's the question Adam's asking himself. Is he just going to steal my creature?
Yeah, the choices here are use the Wizard class, join the Maestros, or the Tempted by the Orc. It's just an island in hand otherwise.
Yeah, the Join the Maestros, I mean, upgrading your 3/3 to a 4/3 is not really that great. You might want to wait for a different opportunity to cast the Join the Maestros. Let's see what he decides on here. If he spends 3 mana, he can up his Wizard class, and then that could give him more options, since he'll see 2 more cards.
I think they buffed Wizard class for Alchemy or something to make it cheaper to get that last thing online or something like that.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, most these classes, aside from I think the Ranger class, which is very good in Construct, I don't think the other classes saw much play. They were just a little too expensive for what they did. The Rangers class, however, was very, very above rate. But the other ones we didn't see too much of.
The Wizards class, obviously great to get the last level 3 on, but it's a whole 5 mana once you're at level 2.
Yeah, it's a lot of mana, but I mean it replaces itself when you get the divination effect, the second effect. So Adam's drawn a couple creatures he can put on the board here, so he can maybe claw himself back into this from being a bit behind. So he has an acquisitions expert, which if he has a Frost Trickster. I think if he plays the Frost Trickster first, he gets to look at both cards. Frost Trickster might be a wizard. I'm not sure, but
look that up. It is a wizard.
Yeah, so if he played the Frost Trickster, he would have got to see both of the cards.
Yeah, to join the Maestro, that would be out of the hand, right?
Yeah, he would have got to take the Join the Maestro. So that might have been a little bit of a miscue there. Play the Frost Trickster first. Yeah, I wasn't sure myself. That's why, because a lot of the times now, like things that look like wizards, like they made Warlock a class that shows up a lot since Eldraine, and a lot of the wizard space has been taken up by Warlocks in quite a bunch of the sets. So we've seen less wizards overall, but I was somewhat certain that this was a wizard. So
yeah.
Hopefully that doesn't come back to bite him, but that would have been pretty big to be able to get that Join the Maestro.
Speaking of wizard, we're becoming a wizard with wizard class, and the draw was awful. 2 lands.
Yeah, 2 lands. So he decided that drawing 2 random cards was going to be more useful than casting the Join the Maestros. There's just like upgrading one of his creatures by 1 power. You really want to sack something with 2 power. You want to upgrade your power by 2 rather than just by 1.
The thought process was anything that costs 4 or less was playable, but because he played the Wilds as a tapped land.
But now Adam's got himself into a situation where he could win here. He has a flyer, he has a menace creature, and he has a removal in hand that he hasn't used yet, the Tamio's completion. So
some pretty decent news. We got Dig Up the Body, which can get a lifelinker.
Okay.
Not terrible.
Dig Up the Body, yeah. So Yeah, so Sawyer's got a little bit of this a sacrifice, we'll say like a sub theme, I guess. So it's obviously not the predominant strategy, but he has, we've seen several things that pay him off. We've seen the repository scab join the maestros, dig up the body. Though dig up the body is just good on its own.
So what's an Adam's hand now?
Just a Tamiyo's completion on another land. So Sawyer doesn't have an answer to this flyer though, right?
No, it's just lifelinker, which can get shut down by the completion.
Yeah, so this flyer is presenting, lethal shortly, 3 turns.
Like you're gonna go milling 4 cards and taking 2 creatures from the bin.
So he's getting rid of the arrogant outlaw that he stole. He'll get back probably desperate farmer, and he'll get a look at 4, 2 and then 2. So with the first shot, okay, so he's drawn a flyer, but it doesn't block the Frost Trickster well. So unlikely to be interested in that. In his mind, his best bet is probably get the lifelinker and race the flyer. So now he has a papercraft decoy or a silver raven, I believe, to choose from. Not the best of choices, but when you need to find answers, this is where we're at.
Does completion mean game over here if he doesn't slap down 2 creatures? Because menace plus flyer.
It would be. It would be if he doesn't play 2 creatures. So, yeah, he might have to play the silver raven here. Yeah. So.
Yeah.
This still puts Adam in a very good spot because he can Tamiyo's completion and he can get his opponent down to 1. Yeah, so I could see him. Yeah, so he can completion the farmer.
Gotta be the play because you're gonna upgrade it to a 4/3 lifelinker with a chump.
So he's gonna completion the farmer, and then he can just keep attacking with his flyer. He can attack with his socialite. He's drawn another land, so he just has 2 lands in hand. So he doesn't have any action behind, so he sort of needs to win with what's in play. His best bet is obviously to attack here.
Oh, the double block on the menace is not bad if there's no instance. You said it's just no action in hand?
Yeah, so he's offering the trade here. He has to block the... Well, Sawyer can either chump block the Frost Trickster and take 4, or kill the Socialite and take 3. So he's gone for the better choice here.
I don't know if there's a way to bounce the Tamiyo's completion or something like that. Oh no, it'll still be tapped.
Yeah, it'll still be tapped. Yeah.
Hanging on for dear life.
Yeah, well, the farmer doesn't flip either because it loses all its abilities anyway. So it doesn't flip over.
Oh, it does?
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah, so...
Not a great draw.
So even if he could remove the completion, it would not be a 4/3.
Going to turn it into 2 4/3s, however, which don't have lifelink.
Yeah, so... so that means that if he can find an answer to the Frost Trickster in his next draw step, he's kind of ahead on board. So Adam's drawn Behold the Multiverse, which one of the better common draw spells we've seen in quite a while. Looking at a Seafloor Stalker and a Persistent Specimen, we did see... It was not... we weren't recording, but between the last 2 rounds, we saw him win a game with the Seafloor Stalker in the second round. Now he's drawn a Suit Up, which will also end the game in short order.
It's lethal right now, right? Suit Up does not give flying.
No, it does. I believe it does.
Suit Up gives flying too?
No. I don't remember. I don't think it does.
No, it's a 4/5 vehicle.
No, it's the one from Capenna that gives flying. Okay.
With 1 less health.
Now he's got 2 threats, so he's got a flyer and an unblockable. So Adam pulled this out. Looked like Sawyer might have been ahead in the early game, but because Adam just had a bunch of removals, but it turns out Sawyer had a lot of stuff going on. He had the game. He gained control of two of the creatures. He did some sack stuff, but when it came time to answer the evasion creatures, he just didn't have the needed answers there. So we'll see what happens in the second game. But Adam pulled that one out despite Sawyer getting a lot of value out of his cards. It just wasn't the right value. It wasn't the value that won him the game.
The game there was decided when he instantly removed the shield. I think it was the farmer shield as a shield target once the exploit happened.
Yep. Yeah.
That's what happened.
All right, so Tamio's completion looks to be coming out after seeing lots of sacrifice. Well, he saw an exploit creature and 2 casualty cards, so Tamio's completion goes way down. Looking at Adam's deck, it's a small sub-theme, but he does have quite a lot of rogues. And he has the Silver Fur Master, which is a lord for rogues and ninjas. Like Evelyn is a rogue, so he has some vampires too going on. He has Evelyn, which was his first pick. He has the 2 Seafloor Stalkers, which are rogue. So he has a bit of a little rogue theme going on here, and he does have a couple of vampires as well to go with the Evelyn, because it does trigger off other vampires. He has a vampire spawn. He has a blood crazed socialite, arrogant outlaw. So he has some small synergies here.
There's a little bit of life gain stuff, which can do well against Seafloor Stalker beating you down. We got Snooping Newsy. We saw the Farmer.
So he's looking at Air Cult Elemental here as a possible side in. The 6 mana 2/5 flyer that bounces. Just seeing tokens on the other side. Maybe that's something he wants.
Oh, I think he just brought in the. I could be completely wrong. Maybe it was in there the whole time. The Cosmos Elixir.
I was figuring that he was playing that. His deck is sort of built to use something like that to its advantage.
Forgot about it.
So he's thinking about a duress here, thinking about a village rights as well. Adam is. Looks like he has access to multiple village rights.
Pretty handy when Auric can steal your guy.
Mm-hmm. I mean, you have to have the mana up, but if you do, it works pretty well. Yeah, so when we were looking through Adam's pool, we thought he might want to splash red. It turns out he's just playing a straight up blue-black deck.
Looks a lot like this deck here.
Yeah, the one card I'm a bit surprised he didn't end up playing is the Glamorous Outlaw, the Fixer, the Grixis common.
Yeah.
It is a vampire which works with Evelyn, and it's just good. It fixes for itself. Deals 2 damage. It's just a good card. But his deck, obviously, it's made to the final, so it didn't need it, but, could have just been an extra thing to go over the top. Looks like a Static Awakener. He has 2 copies. Looks like he's thinking about cutting one or both of those.
You have Decayed Zombies.
Yeah, so he's taking out Zulaport Duelist, which is that 1/1 flash that gives something -2/-0, and just putting in a 3/2 flyer instead.
I think there's a Zulaport Duelist in this Sawyer's list too. Doesn't Casualty 2, unfortunately.
No. Yeah, so he went a little more have a couple more threats rather than, a Tamio's completion and little 1-drops. Just didn't see the use in them. All right. So unfortunately, Adam's going to take a mulligan here. What's going on with Sawyer's hand?
We have 5 lands, a Silver Raven, and a Revenge of the Drowned.
Yeah.
So you got the Scry coming on turn 1. That's the savior here.
Not too many 5-landers that you're happy keeping that don't have a Hullbreaker Horror as one of the 2 non-lands. But yeah,
going to be pitching in.
So Adam mulliganed a 1-lander. He's keeping this one. He's likely going to bottom one of his 6-drops here. He has 2 6-drops, Snow Day and the aforementioned Air Cult Elemental. The Snow Day is going to the bottom. He does have a very interesting card to open the game with, which is if you remember, the Reaper's Talisman. Oh yeah, that did work. That card is very threatening, and he has a good creature to put it on, which is the 1 T Fangblade, the 3-mana Death Touch, also from
That sounds
AFR.
dangerous.
So he's drawn a
Oh, there.
duress. He's drawn a duress for turn, and he's looking at Sawyer's pretty much vacant hand here. So
Moonsnare
this one T Fangblade might do some work, and Adam's drawn another. Well, we won't call it threat, but a good play, which is a vampire spawn. 3 mana, 2/3, gain 2 and lose 2 when it comes in.
The choice here is dig up the body for casualty or no,
Well,
and Moonsnare Specialist.
there's no creatures in his graveyard, right?
No, it mills too. It's YOLO time if he's doing that. The only other choice is to ninjutsu and a Moonsnare Specialist for no bounce.
Yeah, I don't think you can dig up the body here. It just doesn't make sense. There's just no reason to do it right now.
No, I'm saying there's only 2 options of turn here.
Yeah, I don't think he's gonna ninja it here. He's gonna wait till Adam plays a creature. Yeah.
The only advantage of doing that would be you get more scry, but it's pretty bad.
Yeah. If Adam plays the vampire spawn here, it's gonna be pretty. It's gonna be pretty undesirable to bounce it. Yeah. If he plays the Fangblade, the Death Touch creature that ventures, that's a little better target. But yeah, Sawyer's not going to be too happy to bounce this. I can't imagine. I mean, sometimes you got to do what you got to do, but
at this point, you can follow up with another Raven and Scry.
Yeah,
so
like my theory as of late has been that bounce has gotten worse because like all the creatures, like so many more creatures have enter the battlefield effects and things that like. Just like a lot of the time you look at your opponent's board and they have 3 creatures and you're like, I don't really want to bounce any of them. Like it's good against tokens, but it's good against like big 5 and 6 drops. But like in this like middle state of the game, a lot of these 2 and 3 drop and 4 drop creatures that we put in our limited decks, they all do something when they come in. So bounce has gotten a bit worse over the years.
Yeah, you want to shuffle on top like Revenge of the Drowned style.
Yeah, it's like while a lot of effects have gotten better, bounce has gotten a bit worse than it used to be. Though when it's on a creature or when it replaces itself and draws a card, we like those. We like Into the Royal and those type of things and Mana War type creature like the Moonsnare Specialist. But just bounce spells are getting to the point where we don't
Searchlight Sawyer kept a Searchlight Companion on top, which is a nice thing to dig up the body with.
Yeah, so that's a 1/1 flyer that makes a little 1/1 token along with it. So that's a good one to dig up the body with no feel bad.
It is a little scary seeing this Drain Tooth talisman on the board.
Yeah, if Sawyer doesn't have an answer, this talisman can just be a real big menace. I don't know how many cards in blue-black answer the talisman. I know Adam has a Tamiyo's Completion, which can hit artifacts, but I don't. Blue-black is traditionally not a color that interacts favorably with opponents' artifacts.
We're going to see something pretty nice because there is Befuddler in hand. I think if he goes for the attack here and shrinks it to 1 attack, the Death Touch is going to be irrelevant, and he can go for a double block.
It'll still have a power, right?
It's going to shrink it to 1 attack, and he can go for a double block if he wants with Befuddler shrinking it.
That makes sense.
Is there any instant in Adam's hand?
He has Village Rights, which doesn't really do anything in combat.
Sawyer's pulling ahead here with Dig Up the Body to get more gas.
Yep. I mean, look, Sawyer's board is like, the creatures in play here are just very small, so as soon as a big creature comes down, it's going to change the game. But yeah, Sawyer has the upper hand. He has more creatures here. Yeah, so the spawn's going to die, but the talisman is still in play. So, like, you can trade with the creatures, but that trigger, the 2 life, is just huge.
I would say Sawyer has very much incentive for this Snare Specialist to die because he can get it back with Dig Up the Body and do some shenanigans here with ninjutsu.
We'll see how he proceeds. So what else does he have aside from Dig Up the Body?
A Paper Graph Decoy, which also synergizes with the ninjutsu and Dig Up the Body, I guess.
Yeah, so Sawyer, like we mentioned, Sawyer's got these some minor sacrifice synergies for these little creatures that he can sack for value. Yeah, so he's attacking here. He's leaving back his 1/1 spirit to probably block and sacrifice, I assume. Block the Fang Blade and sack it.
You can't just pay. It's a decision to make.
Yeah, he could trade off as well. Yeah, this is, yeah. Adam
Life
is,
gain's gotten.
like, none of the choices are great here. He doesn't really want to trade off for the Papercraft Decoy. Yeah, he's actually not going to attack. He's just going to leave open his village rights and pass, it looks like.
Got a healthy amount of life here because of all this life gain, though.
Yeah. Sawyer, despite having a few little creatures there attacking, is not presenting a clock here, and now there's a 1/4 flyer that can block. So let's see what Sawyer decides to do. I assume he's casting Dig Up the Body here.
Yeah, it's kind of a little YOLO to get a powerful creature in your graveyard with this.
Yeah,
We'll
so
see if you get.
Yep. So 2 swamps, so not a good start. Gets back the Searchlight, so at worst he gets back his Frog.
That is not what you want to see from that card.
The Tempted by the Orc would have been pretty good there, taking the Mistwalker away, the flyer, so he can keep getting in the air. So what did he draw now?
It was an Evolving Wilds, so it's not really lucky at all.
Yeah, so Adam, as we can see, has the Village Rights, and he has the Air Cult Elemental, that 6-drop, 4 blue. Bounces a creature when it comes in. 2/5 flying. Yeah.
The Specialist. Am I crazy, or the Specialist can get chumped?
So he's just sort of trading in his Papercraft Decoy here for a card, which I'm not sure it's at the point where he absolutely needed to do that, but
I was gonna say you should probably Wilds beforehand, get lands out of the deck, but
yeah. So the Searchlight Companion's coming down again. There's a 1/4 flyer here to stop it from attacking. Also, this 1/4 flyer is pretty good to put the Talisman on, because you can. He only has 1 blue mana right now, but when you have more blue mana, you can pump it after.
Yeah.
All right, so Adam's drawn a Silver Quill Pledge Mage here. Not too interesting of a draw. We'll see if he decides to start attacking. Yeah, it gives you get flying or lifelink, and it's a 3/1 for 3.
Oh yeah.
It is also a vampire, so that goes with his Evelyn. So he has some, like we said, he has some little synergies there with rogues and vampires. Yeah, so this Mistwalker can pile up the damage here. Yeah, I just remember playing against Talisman in draft, and if you didn't have a way to get the Talisman off the board, it was going to be a rough ride.
Yep. Let's see what we draw here. Ooh, that is a Diver Scab.
Okay, so Diver Scab, so another exploit card. It puts a creature on top or bottom. So we'll see what he decides to put on top, or what he decides to get rid of, and what Adam decides to do. I assume he'll want to target the Mistwalker with it, but we'll see.
Yeah, the other 2 can be blocked fairly well.
Yeah, so Moonsnare Specialist is going to get in for 2. Pretty safe attack there. Yeah, so Diver Scab sacking a token, and I figure he's going to put the Mistwalker on top. Yeah. It's his main threat right now. The ground is pretty much sealed off here. There's just no attacking on the ground presently.
Sawyer's got to top deck some stuff if he wants to live.
Yeah, well, as we know, he has some pretty good cards that he could peel off the top. So his power level is very high of his top end. So we know his deck is full of powerful stuff. He just needs to find it. Adam too has powerful cards, so Adam has a bit of the upper hand here, but a bomb rare can swing it really hard either way.
Well, it's bad news. We got an island.
Yeah, not what Sawyer needs here. Yeah, so he can't even like the ground is completely sealed off on either side because there's a 3/5 on one side and there's a 2/2 death touch on the other. So unless something changes, flying is gonna rule the day here. So he is sending in with his 3/5 here. I'm not
The
sure.
bluff it looks.
He could just block with the 1/4 on the 3/5.
Yeah. It's an important creature, though. He might not
Yeah,
be.
Adam might not want to put his 1/4 in harm's way here because it's his only source of damage. Okay, he's gonna block like this. So he's gonna get the 3/5 off the board, and he's gonna not take any damage from the 2/2. Again, this does put the Mistwalker in harm's way of potentially getting killed. Adam's drawn a
Oh,
Seafloor Stalker, which once again is gonna overperform. So he already has Mistwalker in play, which is whatever party member you need it to be because of the changeling. So he already gets a discount from that. And the Silverquill Pledge Mage might be a wizard. Yeah, the Silverquill Pledge Mage is a wizard, so he's actually getting. He can activate it for 2 mana. He has 3 party members in play. That's going to kill really quickly, especially if he draws another blue mana. Sawyer's in danger of dying very, very quickly.
Well, Night Clever.
So
Flashbacks to a couple of games ago.
Yeah, so Night Clubber is not going to solve all the problems here. It gets the Pledge Mage off the board, but the Pledge Mage is the least impactful creature. Yeah. Adam has 2 threats. Yeah. So he is going to. Yeah, he's going to blitz it here just to draw the card because playing the 2/2 as a ground creature that sticks around, not doing much here. He will take the opportunity to get in a few damage points.
It does make it so it costs slightly more to activate the Stalker. The Befuddler shrinks it. It buys some amount of time.
Yeah,
maybe.
It's it's a stopgap. It's gonna give him a bit more breathing room, but it doesn't solve the imminent problems.
Nope. So much life gain in Adam's deck here. He's taken a lot of damage, a lot more than the 7. It looks like.
Yeah, big credit to both of these players. Both of their decks are really, really well built. Have a lot of little synergies, but also high power level. So both of these players really navigated the Mega Draft well. Yeah, so you can get him with the Seafloor Stalker. He doesn't even really need to activate it here. It's going to deal 2 anyway. And he drew an Expedition Diviner, which is another threat here. That's a 3/2 flying wizard, which is another party member here.
Almost too much already because of this talisman.
Yeah, the top turn 1 talisman, as long as you have creatures, which Adam's had a pretty steady stream of creatures, even if they haven't been standout creatures. They're, it's evasion, so that's all you need.
Yeah, you can't go with the chump blocking plan every turn if that's.
He's giving Sawyer the option to chump block here because he's going to play his Expedition Diviner, which is another threat. Yeah. Yeah, so now he has a flying creature and it's a wizard, so it makes the Seafloor Stalker activate for 2 mana. So if nothing changes and Adam draws an island, he won't win because the Befuddler will give -1, but...
well, we got Lunar Rejection, so that's time, if nothing else.
Yeah, so again, buying time. Kind of like the Night Clubber, kind of like this Befuddler. So Sawyer's keeping himself alive, but not in a way that progresses him to win the game, which is a problem. But I mean, he'll be alive.
The plays you go to combat, and because you can't equip at instant speed, you make it so you won't get a trigger on the talisman this turn.
Yeah, makes sense. So Adam's drawn about the least helpful card in his deck, which is a swamp. Even an island would have been good because he has a double blue card in hand. So kind of interesting to see what Adam's going to do here. It's not clear. He's going to combat here, so I figure Sawyer's going to bounce it before the trigger can
There is
go
a
off.
werewolf on the field. That's going to cost 2.
It's if it's targeting a werewolf, right?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, so he could have bounced the Mistwalker for 2 if he
I gave him a choice of
understood.
guessing.
Yeah. So Seafloor Stalker is going to get bounced. Adam's going to attack with his Mistwalker, and then probably just recast his Seafloor Stalker and pass the turn.
We have a flip to switch, though. Does he have a land to play to pay?
He does. He does have a. You have to pay 4.
Oh, never mind.
So he will be able to
hang on
his Seafloor Stalker. So again, Sawyer's staying alive. He's not progressing to a state where he's turning the corner and being ahead or winning. But staying alive is good. Right, yeah. So he's just making sure he takes no extra damage because this Reaper's Talisman is, the Reaper's Talisman is uncounterable damage. So anything he can do to make sure he doesn't take any damage here is just, he has to do it. Yeah, so he soaks up the damage, doesn't take anything this turn. And now the Stalker is going to get countered here.
Straight off the top, though, and he knows it. No time to get salty.
Yeah.
That was straight off the top, though.
Yeah, I mean, Adam does, he has the talisman in play, so that thing will eventually, deal the damage. But, he's doing a good job of keeping himself alive. And notably,
he did emote.
And notably, if this Expedition Diviner trades off, Adam will draw a card because it cares about having another wizard, and we know Mistwalker is everything. So the Expedition Diviner will draw a card if it dies.
Draws Lantern Bearer,
which
is flying.
Yeah, it just makes Sawyer's attacks not great.
Maybe the problem is that
he has no choice but to attack with these ground creatures. Adam might choose just to trade this Diviner off for a card. Yeah.
What's Adam's hand?
He has the Village Rites and the Air Cult Elemental, both of which he's had for a while. He's drawn Karfell Kennel Master, which is that 5 mana 4/4 that can buff 2 things indestructible till end of turn. +1/+0. Now he's drawn a Quandrix Pledge Mage, which he cannot cast.
Well, the big problem here is the unblockable source of 3 attacks worth of damage killing him.
Yeah, so he can put creatures in front of this Mistwalker, but he cannot kill it. He just has to put creatures. Yeah, he just has to put creatures in front. So now he can suit up something with the Lantern Bearer, presumably the Befuddler, and that will be able to get the Mistwalker off the board.
Drained for 10 or so already this turn 1 play.
The Reaper's Talisman has done the lion's share of the damage this game, as it does in most games. It's just a 1-drop, and it makes everything into a threat, and the damage is uncounterable. The attack trigger damage is uncounterable. The card is really, really strong. It was a frequent first pick in Adventures of the Forgotten Realms. The card's just really strong.
And he'd be at 5 health.
And that set particularly had a wealth of those creatures that you got something when they hit the opponent. That was sort of like a sub-theme.
Last turn of the entire league, if anything that doesn't matter comes off the top here for Sawyer. He has an island in hand.
Yeah, so he's just going to chump block. It's just this Reaper's Talisman is real good. So Adam is on the verge of... Hullbreaker doesn't even do it, right?
I know. I was just saying it's got to be just because it'd be funny. It doesn't actually do anything.
Yeah, unfortunately, can't kill this artifact. Yeah, this Reaper's Talisman just ran away with the game, came down on turn 1, and blue-black can't remove artifacts. So with that, we see Adam S. is our league champion for Streets of New Capenna. So congratulations to him, and we'll be back for the next league.
Yeah, congratulations, man.